All right, folks, this is take two trying to record this video. I just recorded the full thing, and while I was pulling up my Twitter browser, right, for all my sources and all the news that I share with you guys, it was blank. I hadn't pulled up my source. So I was speaking for 20 minutes without even realizing that. So without further ado, let's get right on into this update. We'll try to do this again. I'm going to try to make this video even faster than the 20 minutes that I just recorded it at. So the altcoins are pumping while Bitcoin cools off. I'm going to show you guys that here in a second. But to get started, we're going to go right on into the economic data and the key indicators on where the economy's really at. So you guys know the deal. We've been using large fries from McDonald's. Today, we're looking at the $16 McDonald's meal for a burger, large fry, and a drink. You're now up to about 16 bucks at McDonald's. Is McDonald's pricing themselves out of their market of cheap food? I believe that they are. Something has to give here soon. And this really highlights the real inflation. While they're trying to tell us that 3% inflation, the Feds won the fight, it's a load of hot crap. McDonald's tea used to be $1. Then last year, they raised the price to $1.60. Now it's $2.32. So this lady right here, she's speaking on this, and she says, quote, "We come to McDonald's because we have no money. So what are we going to do now?" And this is what many folks are thinking about, right? Is now you can't even take the family to eat fast food cheaply, right? Now, let alone the point that McDonald's is crap food. A lot of this fast food, I mean, most of the food that we're putting on our tables is full of crap. I get that. Point aside, the quality's going down, but you're still paying more. And the shrinkflation too. Now, this is real inflation, though. This is a real indicator to pay attention to. And this is definitely not a 3% increase from $1 to $1.60. I like that we can keep the math simple here this morning for us. That's 60% inflation. But now it's gone to $2.32. So that's over 100%. That's over doubling, right? That's inflation that is 132% from $1 to $2.32. Meanwhile, they tell us that inflation's down to 3%. We should be feeling warm and fuzzy inside. We should have plenty of money left over to, stock fill our stockings and put some presents under the Christmas tree and be happy slappy while we cheerlead Biden's economy. That's not reality, right? You can't take the fam out anywhere to eat these days without dropping a 50 spot for the most simple meal, And this is the real lies that continue to get perpetuated in the real estate sector as well. Take a look at this one, folks. This is truly incredible. This was shared here by Melody Wright. Someone tagged her in this message, an email, I guess, that was sent out by a real estate agent. And she says, "I don't really have any words for the below, but be wary and stay frosty out there. There is no limit to the amount of crap people will shovel to keep the slots singing." They say, "Good morning, breaking news. The government has announced 6 drops in interest rates in 2024. Wow, this is huge. We are about to have happy buyers and sellers again." This is a complete lie. There is nowhere where you can find. And first off, the Federal Reserve is not our government. So just right there alone, you see the stupidity that these real estate agents spout on a daily basis while they advise people to make the biggest purchase in their life. Usually, the largest purchase that anyone's going to make, the largest quote-unquote investment anybody's going to be make is signing the deal on that dotted line for that mortgage. And hopefully if they do it right, they can build a little bit of equity, right? But this is a complete lie. And this is the same folks. I mean, I imagine this real estate agent was probably listening to the same talking head pundits on CNBC that told us that we were going to get, 3-4 rate cuts this year in 2023? And how many rate cuts have we got? A big fat goose egg. So the stupidity from these agents is unbelievable. Or I guess it is, very believable if you look at how easy it is to, become a real estate agent. And I find it so interesting how they don't have to be certified financial advisors, yet they're advising people on their largest purchase, their largest investment. Very interesting. Now, we continue to see it, though. This is unbelievable. 80% of new homes built for sale in the U.S. are now in homeowners associations. And look out, because we're seeing that, the issues that are coming with that, really starting to present themselves. First off, you get in, the HOA fees $20 a month. Then it goes up to $40 a month. Which, by the way, where's that calculated in the CPI? Your HOA dues going up 100%. A special assessment coming out of the blue, and they whack you with, okay, you need to pay $5,000 this year extra, in a special assessment because we need to repair a road. We need to repair a ditch. We need to repair the building. Look at what's happening in Florida right now, where complete condo buildings are being evacuated because they're unsafe, uninhabitable to live in. They're about to collapse. And what do you do then? Right? You're on the streets hoping that someone, can take care of you because your condo association is now uninhabitable. Now, that's an extreme case, but it is taking place in Florida. And you look now at this new deal. The new home is now shrinking in size from where it got to, right? It got to a new all-time high, and the average size of the American home has definitely been growing. You can take a look at that, but it is coming back down now. And you look at all the new offerings, these little cookie cutter shacks in an HOA that is going to be mismanaged. I've had plenty of experience dealing with these morons that run these HOAs. Not a clue in the world. And this is the problem, and you come along here, at any point they raise your dues, and what are you getting? A little cookie cutter American dream? Thank you very much. I think I'll pass. Now, this is a great instance and example right here of just how quickly these prices can start to come down. Amy Nixon, Texas runner, Dallas-Fort Worth, shares this. This is how quickly institutional investors can move markets. Quote, in Milwaukee's 5321 zip code, where Vinebrook Homes owns 31%, nearly 1/3 of the over 100 resale listings currently on the market, it changed the price on 86% of those listings, with the typical unit seeing a 17% price cut. So you get a big institutional investor here, owns almost 1/3 of the existing homes for sale, and then they need to move this thing. They're not like the existing homeowner, right? That's kind of emotionally holding on to the bag, so to say, and they're not willing to cut price. The builders are willing to work, and these institutional investors have to dump, and they're willing to deal. So as I've been saying in regards to real estate, for someone who's looking to buy a home and find a place for their family to live, go beat up the builders and go look at these markets where institutional investors saturated and flooded the market. And they're backing out now. And these are markets like Phoenix, Arizona, Austin, Texas. Texas across the board has a huge amount of construction, the most amount of construction. So you can go beat up those builders. Look at markets like Atlanta, Georgia, with huge amount of institutional investors, right? They're starting to back out. They're starting to liquidate. And this is where they're going to be willing to negotiate. This is your opportunity. Now, speaking of your opportunity, this next one, Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings jumped to highest level in 13 years. So the chaos in the real estate sector, your opportunity. The chaos on Main Street in our real economy with small to medium enterprises that are struggling to make it, right? The highest level of bankruptcy filings in 13 years. This is your opportunity. First off, even if you're just working a job, does the owner of your business, do they have a succession plan? Do they have an exit strategy? Do they have someone that's going to take this thing over? Most cases, they don't. And you're going to see it right now. They're going to be more willing to negotiate as this continues. So bankruptcy filings at the highest level in 13 years. We're seeing data points out of the real estate sector, mortgage demand down to its lowest levels in 1994. U.S. new home sales median price down 18% year over year. The fastest collapse in that data point since they started tracking it, essentially. It's bad. It's getting bad. And this is your opportunity. For those that are ready to take advantage of this within business, within real estate, it's all going to be there. And meanwhile, you got the average realtor down the street here is going to just lead you right on into a bad deal willy-nilly because they don't care. Your 401k advisor, your financial advisor's going to roll you back into the same crap that he's been shoveling down your throat. God forbid if you do ask them what you're invested in, half of America doesn't even know what their 401k retirement account is even in. So there's that too. Now, speaking of an absolute joke, Bitcoin fees have now surged to nearly 3,500% since August and are at a whopping average of $27.95, almost $30 for your average Bitcoin fee. And they try to tell us this is the future of finance. But speaking of the future of finance, we have this one from Swift. In the first half of 2023, only around 10% of the total Swift security settlement messages were sent for the purpose of T1 settlement in equities markets. When the North American markets moved to T1 in May of 2024, this figure is estimated to jump 30%. So we covered it yesterday. Bhutan, they're rolling out their CBDC project on the XRP ledger next year. They're doing proof of They're doing, they're doing proof of concepts. They're doing trials. They're figuring out how to do this. You're seeing all of the ISO 222 messaging standard delays, right? It was supposed to be August of last year, gets delayed out till March of this year, gets delayed out till November of this year, gets delayed out till what's the next date? I don't know what the next date's, March, May of next year. But as even Swift is acknowledging here too, all of this is rolling over, but it's also going to speed up that volume and the amount of value that's getting moved. And when you think about the billion of people across the planet, they're going to get brought online. They don't even have connection to the internet yet, let alone cryptocurrencies, and let alone DLT technology that's running 24/7, 365. So it's not only going to add more value coming online, but the speed with which that value is settling is going to speed up as well. Now, what I'm excited for here is this one too. Uphold Vault just arrived, and CEO Simon McLaughlin, when I interviewed him a few months ago, he was telling us that this was on the way. We have been waiting for it, and it is finally here. The state-of-the-art assisted self-custody solution built to keep your assets secure and protect against private key loss. Here is a brief overview, and if you see this clipped out of the video later, it is because the music that they're using hit me with a copyright, but let's see if we can play this one. Love to see it. Assisted self-custody. You have two keys. You're in full control. But if you lose a key, they have a spare one to help you recover your wallet, right? So there's three keys to get access to the vault. You have two. They have one. You only need two to get in. So you got room to make one mistake, and you still can make something happen. This is massive for adoption of the masses who aren't ready to do full self-custody, right? And even this is streamlined, this process simplified. This is exactly what we need for the adoption that we're looking to get. Now, the adoption that we're looking to get is absolutely massive, and David Schwartz shows us how aligned we are in the right spot here. Tokenization on the XRP ledger shall start in 1.5 years in the real world. So over the next year, we are going to see this thing begin. Take a listen in on why he believes the XRPL is going to be taking advantage of this tokenization of real world assets.
I'm hoping that we're going to see, as real-world asset tokenization projects grow, I think the XRP Ledger is going to be a really good platform for them to launch on, particularly because of the low fees and because of the integration with the DEX, with the proximity to sort of the movement of funds. The ability, if someone's going to buy, what do you want to do with a real-world tokenized asset? You want to buy it, you want to sell it, you want to hold it, you want to transfer it. And if you want to buy it and sell it, you want to be able to do that with whatever asset is convenient for you. You don't want to tie. If you tokenize some sort of debt, like you don't want to tie it to US dollars because then that limits access to it to people who have sort of proximity to US dollars. One of the things the XRP Ledger is good for is giving you sort of proximity to many different assets, and that exchange is seamlessly built in. So I think that's one of the many reasons why the XRP Ledger is going to be a good place to launch tokenized real world assets. I think we'll see that in the next year, 1.5 years.
Cool, yeah, and there's
with regulations set and with the acquisition of Medico, that custody was the last block that needed to be set. It has been laid. And I think that David Schwartz is absolutely correct that the XRPL is going to be eating up a lot of the real world asset tokenization. The ledger just works, and you don't have to denominate it. Just think of Putin sitting down here with the king of Saudi Arabia here recently, right? Showing up, and boy, did they look happy to shake hands and see each other again, right? You have folks that don't want to denominate debt in the US dollar, or they don't even trust each other. So what do you need? You need that neutral bridge asset. And so you're seeing countries around the world, they're trying to get away. The alternatives have been mostly China offering debt in renminbi, and many folks trying to get away from that as well too. This is why I think that you got a bridge currency like XRP that is set to eat up so much of the real world asset tokenization. Now, I wanted to highlight this too. Link2 just got more Ripple equity yesterday. The price is already back above $40 per share. When you spend over $10,000, you can get it down to $40.24. And below that, you're going to be paying $42 per share. This thing's coming and it's going super quick. People have been asking me, why the fluctuation in prices? Because this is a private market and we're setting it. So the demand that our community is bringing to Link2 is what is setting the market, with companies like this that haven't gone public yet. So Link2, they get it at their price. They have to run their business. They have to mark it up, obviously, and make their money. And they get it in at, a certain price point, and then it goes. And then they work to get more. And so they're just trying to bring this equity to us. And so this is why you've seen fluctuations in prices. You align that with what's taking place on the macro, right? This is why I'm watching for an incredible opportunity to buy this private equity over the next year, is because we're going into a correction, I believe, for the equities markets that will bring down the private equity as well, which has already started, by the way. Private equity, these markets have already come down. Ripple shares were trading at over $50 per share just a couple weeks ago, and they were up over $60 per share at one time. Now, you have to remember that Ripple just bought back their shares at a $15 billion valuation, which is about twice what this implied valuation is. So this implied valuation is $7.6 billion. So, if we consider that Ripple just bought back their shares at about a $15 billion valuation, that's what, $70-$80 per share that they just paid? That's a very interesting deal. Now, speaking of a deal, the markets are back up. We're going to take a look at this action. This is typical, guys. So Bitcoin has done an incredible rally. We've seen it, and it ran up. Let me pull up the charts here for you. We see that Bitcoin ran up here all the way to about 44.5, right? 44,500, cools off back below 43,000 over the night, and we're back up here at about 43,300 at the time of this recording. But you go on down this coin market cap, and you can see all the green. So Ethereum at one point was up about 5% on the daily chart. It's cooled off a little bit, but it's up 14% on the week. You have Solana up about 12% on the week. Even XRP up 6.5%. Cardano up 21%. Dogecoin 15%. Avalanche 28%. Right? All of these coins. Polkadot 14%. Polygon 11%. Shiba. Shout out to the SHIB army. All of it's, finally catching up after Bitcoin's led this rally. Now we're starting to see the altcoins catch up while Bitcoin cools off. This is something to watch closely because, I know what people are going to say. Oh, all these other coins with all these gains. XRP's asleep. XRP's dead. I'm dumping my XRP bag. That's fine. If you want to let me know that you're dumping your XRP bag, that's fine. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. You guys know what I'm doing. I'm holding on to the bag that I got. I'm not buying more right now. If we get sub 50 cent XRP, or honestly, if we get sub 60, I'll probably buy some more just because. But, for me, I'm just sitting on the sidelines. Some folks want to dump their bag. That's fine. This thing's getting ready to break out, and I think it moves well above $1 here really quickly. Really quickly. Now, does that mean that we're breaking out to all-time high by the beginning of next year? No. But I believe that this thing's ready to slingshot even just past $1. When you look on the time frames zoomed out, and you look at the levels that we're ready to go to, even just going to $1 with ease can happen in the blink of an eye. And so you look at an opportunity here to buy an XRP, 64 cents right now, I think is what we're trading at. Let me pull up the chart. And many folks are just leaving this asset because it's been moving sideways. It hasn't been pumping like these other ones have. Right now we're at 64 cents for your XRP. Okay, let's take a look. 64 cents for your XRP. Yesterday, we did pump up to 65.5, back down. This thing, the manipulation is unbelievable. Remember just a few days ago on Monday, right? We got that pullback down to 58 cents. So these buying opportunities don't last, and the suppression is so coiled up. There's so much pressure. I think we break above $1 here very soon. Very soon. And for the rest of the digital assets, they're catching up to Bitcoin. We'll be watching that. I'm just watching for black swan events between now and the election. And primarily, I'm watching between now and March. The other thing that I forgot to bring up is that there was another draining of the reverse repo market yesterday, which just shows us that that liquidity crisis is still going on. We have World War III events going on. We have Biden Black Swan to watch out for. Cold and flu season is back. So just stay ready, stay liquid, stay prepared, stay patient. I know many people are losing conviction. You're missing what's happening here on the back end. As David Schwartz highlights, the tokenization is coming over the next year. Swift just highlighted how they're updating their payment messaging over the next year. And yet folks are leaving this asset that most of the world doesn't even know about yet. I'm remaining patient. I'm remaining liquid, staying ready. And for our community, we're going to take advantage of this chaos, whether it's businesses, whether it's real estate, whether it's buying crypto, whether it's buying private equity. Thank you very much for the deals. We are ready to go. We are going to move with conviction because we've done our research. We understand where the value's at, where the utility is going to be at and grow over the coming decades. So the investments that we're making here aren't get rich quick. I'm not talking about trading a little bag, trading a little thing and trying to say, oh, I made some money trading. That's great. That's fine. We've done that deal. Right now, a liquidity crisis presents itself with exchanges going bust and exchanges continuing to struggle. We'll just remain patient on the sidelines here. We'll watch how this thing plays out. For me, XRP back above $1 is going to be exciting, but the long-term viability of these blockchains is really starting to show itself where these other chains aren't working. These other chains, have experienced their DeFi programs. They've came, they've gone, they weren't sustainable. What's coming to the XRPL will be sustainable. The AMM that's coming. We just saw another validator is going to be flipping his vote to yes here. Just was announced last night. That was FOMO. Okay, so the utility's coming for the XRPL, and I think that you're going to have legitimate businesses coming to the XRPL in comparison to the kids playing around on the other blockchains. I think it's going to be a night and day difference, and the value that you're talking about is going to be night and day difference as well, with trillions of dollars of real world asset tokenization coming to the XRPL. I think that will be higher than 64 cents. I think that our days of complaining about being under $1 will be over. Whether that means we'll be at $10 or $100 or 10,000, it's going to be fun to find that out. Now, I want to say, guys, everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com. Whether you're looking to get in touch with Uphold, we just talked about their Uphold Vault program. I got the link on down below for Link2. And if you're brand new to Link2 and you use my link with your first purchase, you will receive $500 towards your first investment. So take advantage of it while it's there. Who knows how long the Ripple equity is going to last before it goes again. And make sure you guys stay tuned by subscribing, hitting that notification bell. We got more content coming today. If you guys want to get into our private group, you go to my website, join our Patreon, you sign up for Discord, get you access to the private group, and we are getting ready for another weekly call coming up this Saturday. So hope to see you guys there, and I will see you guys in the next one on the way out. If you could do me a big favor, I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much.